So tell us about
young-looking Chinese girls.
you had a
Gooning session.
Here at Twitch, we value equality. That includes barely legal teenagers.
Would you ever go to Israel?
Guys, before we get started with today's video, we have some serious allegations to address. My most recent video featured me having a complete mental breakdown, desperately trying to satisfy my unending craving for lunchly. Of course, with the way the algorithm works, I needed to title it something completely up in order to get views, so I titled it, I ate lunchly and got cancer. This is so sad. Now, technically this wasn't clickbait because I did get cancer at one point in my life, and I did consume something I labeled as lunchly, so none of it was untrue. But guys, this is so sad. I've been exposed for plagiarism. Why did you copy my video title? Corrosion Cat. You have 9 subscribers. I don't know who the f you are. Alvin and the Chipmunks Backshots. Yeah, I don't really know what I was expecting there, to be honest with you. Oh, look, there it is, right there. Lunchly gave me cancer. Yes, Corrosion Cat, I'm sorry. I saw this title, and it was just too good to pass up. I had to steal it for myself.
This is probably fucking poisoning kids. This stuff is, like, genuinely, like, just...
Now, this is the hard-hitting journalism that I want to see on YouTube. You know what, everyone? Go subscribe to Corrosion Cat. You know, he makes epic bangers. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the crazy, you don't fucking care.
If you suffer from erectile dysfunction, you should know you're not alone.
Every time I go on Twitch, it feels like one of those nightmares where you're running, but you can't go anywhere. Only instead of running and not going anywhere, you're just surrounded by retarded people. Twitch has made a lot of bad decisions in recent years, like the time that they allowed NSFW content on the platform and then immediately realized how stupid that was. But Twitch always manages to outdo itself when it comes to this stuff. First, you couldn't say the N-word. Then you're not allowed to show your stink wrinkles. And now we're openly allowing propaganda on the platform. But whatever you do, do not say the N-word, because the N-word is way worse than I've made it no secret that I dislike Hasan Piker. I think he's a
bad person with great moral dilemmas.
Hasan is one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, placing him 4th overall, only behind the Fat Man, some video game company, and whoever the fuck this is. Now, I'm sure you're all familiar with the huge drama going on in Israel and Palestine right now. I'm not here to give my take on Israel and Palestine. Frankly, I don't give a shit. But what I do care about is Hassan Abdul Jerome Parker. He's been saying a lot of crazy shit on his live streams lately, which is fine, you know. Some people like PlayStation, other people like Xbox, some people like Islamic Jihad. Personally, I love Palestine. Shout out to all the Palestinians out there. Can we please get some W-Palestines in the chat? Guys, if this video doesn't get 50 likes, I am going to literally nuke Palestine. Can I say that? But sometimes his passion for Palestinian liberation gets into very dangerous territory. Rather than dissecting all of his brain-dead statements one by one, I'm just going to show you a clip where Hasan Piker plays actual propaganda on his live stream.
Oh, you want to see a Houthi musical? Sure. These were the people that the Saudis were killing, by the way, just so you know. These fucking musically gifted individuals. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, I need the money, guys. I'm gonna grab my food. Yeah.
Look, I'm 26 years old, which basically makes me 39. And back in my day, we had this thing called the Adpocalypse. You know that guy PewDiePie? Some Swedish dude, I think he did an Oasis guitar cover. Felix PewDiePie Johnson decided to go on Fiverr and pay these kids from some random country to hold up a sign that said, and after that, all of the big advertisers got mad and said, fuck you, fuck PewDiePie, fuck Pyrocynical, fuck YouTube. I'm about to head out. And all of the YouTubers lost all of their money. What Hasan is doing is exponentially worse than what PewDiePie did by a landslide. This music video was created by a group called the Houthis. One of the Houthis' main slogan is upon the Jews. Now, not to be radical, but I think wanting all Jews to be cursed is a little bit anti-Semitic. It even says on their Wikipedia page that their ideologies are anti-Semitism and anti-LGBTQ. But Hasan, he's a good boy. He loves Jewish people. He would never support the Houthis, right? Right? Nope, he actually does. He brought a member of the Houthis onto his live stream, calling him the Yemeni Timothy Chalamet and comparing him to Luffy from One Piece.
Does he know what One Piece is?
أكيد يعني منذ الطفولة وأنا أشاهد ون بيس لوفي.
Is it Luffy?
Yeah, he said he's been watching it since he was a kid.
No way!
Yeah.
That's sick. Yes, that's fire.
You're anti-Semitic and homophobic? Bro, that is
fire.
I mean, Hasan is completely masked off at this point. He has no real conviction. He's backpedaling on everything he believes just to grift as hard as he possibly can on the whole Palestine thing. Like, for example, leftists. They're typically very pro-women, and they want them to be safe. I think that's great. Hasan, on the other hand, clearly does not.
What does Hezbollah do? Bro, what did Hamas do? What are you talking about? Like, there is one instance in captivity that we have actually gotten verifiable evidence on.
Yeah, guys, you know online leftists, right? They never blindly believe sexual assault allegations without evidence. That just doesn't happen. Hasan has always struck me as the believe women type of guy, but I guess Hasan is more about the facts and logic at the moment. Shout out to Ethan Klein. He kind of got the ball rolling on this whole situation. I talked about this on the channel before, but he had a huge falling out with Hasan. He canceled their podcast, and it all stemmed from Hasan essentially allowing his audience to bully and harass Ethan for what seems like a pretty reasonable take on the whole Israel-Palestine drama. Now, it's a pretty big deal that Twitch is allowing one of their biggest streamers to do all of this. It's very bad. But what if I told you that there are more? There's a lot of these smaller streamers that all try to leech off of Hasan's community. They pretty much all believe the same shit as him and repeat all his talking points. And they specifically stream when Hasan isn't, because if he is streaming, then no one will watch them. Like, why would I watch Shrek 2 when I have the Star Wars Christmas special on DVD? One of these individuals is Froan.
Want to lose weight and keep eating the foods you love?
No! Froan is the human equivalent of a rotten watermelon. She has been consistently astroturfed. She won the Rising Streamer of the Year in 2023, and since then she can barely crack 50 viewers on a live stream. I get 50 viewers on my live stream, for context, and I'm a nobody. By the way, she was nominated for Rising Streamer the year prior and then lost, so she's been up and coming for 2 years straight, apparently. Look at her YouTube channel. I mean, I have more subscribers than her, dude. How the fuck did she get famous? Anyways, recently Froan has come under fire for saying some very tasteless things about veterans.
I will never have any pity for any soldiers. U.S. military? Booth who? I hope you get PTSD.
Look, I don't care about veterans that much, and I'm not gonna sit here and grandstand about how disgusting this is, but your overly performative left-wing activism stops being endearing when you start acting like a literal sociopath. She made this tweet showing all of her DM requests, and, you know, people are saying some pretty gross things, but I find it funny that she captioned this video, totally normal, by the way. Bruh. I'm sorry, Froan, the word normal should not be in your vocabulary right now. You said you wanted veterans to get PTSD. That is the furthest thing from normal. You know that Dan Henschel tweet where it's like, I just got punched in the face for no reason? That's you. You are that guy. Also, apparently she did this thing at TwitchCon with some other streamers where they ranked streamers on this scale. The top tier is Arab and the bottom tier is Loves Sabra. Sabra is a food brand that makes hummus, and they were victim to the pro-Palestinian boycotts that took place. It's also kosher, which means, you know, Jewish people can eat it. Obviously, like, the implication is that, like, Arabs are up top and Jews are at the bottom. Froan and the people who joined her on stage were actually banned for this. As to why this happened so late, we'll get into it in a second, but she starts just bold-faced lying about why she was banned. 30-day ban for saying people like bottom-of-the-barrel hummus, but other people get 2 weeks for advocating for the Palestinians. Got it. Froan, if I made a tier list where the top tier said white and the bottom tier said eats fried chicken, would you believe me when I said, I'm just making fun of people who eat fried chicken? No, obviously you would think I was talking about black people when the top part is white and the bottom part relates to a stereotype about black people, because that's obviously the intention. You're not just making a joke about how the hummus is bad, like you're clearly using eat Sabra as a dog whistle for Jewish people. Now she goes on to state, well, it's just about who has the Habibi pass. I don't know what the Habibi means. Maybe it's racist. I don't really care. But also, like, isn't that an implication that the more respected you are, the higher on the list you are? To be fair, there seems to be no rhyme or reason with who they selected. Like, some people they like are at the bottom, some people they probably hate are at the top. But it feels disingenuous to say this is simply just a joke about how Sabra is bad. Also, Froan retweeted this one saying, Twitch just banned some of the most prominent Middle Eastern voices simply for using their platform to speak about Palestine. At Twitch, you're a racist platform, and you don't even try to hide it. Yeah, prominent 54 viewer live stream. Yeah, very prominent. Obviously, if you're retweeting this, you co-sign the statement, so you believe that you were banned for simply using your platform to speak about Palestine. But you said previously you were banned for making a joke about Sabra. Which is it? Were you making a serious statement or not? Yeah, maybe if you ate more Sabra, you'd lose some weight.
Gone. I love Israel. I love Israel. Gone. Gone. I love Israel.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, Ethan Klein did this whole thing where he called out Hasan on stream and kind of ran through all the he's been up to. And this drew into question Twitch's potential favoritism towards Hasan. Like, for example, they're unbanning people like Sneeko and Donald Trump from Twitch, but they won't unban Destiny, who is objectively a less abrasive person than both of those people. And meanwhile, Hasan is saying things like, it's okay when rich women get or we should kill landlords because they're bad people, or platforming a literal terrorist. And it's like, why hasn't he been banned? But the rabbit hole doesn't stop there. If you watch Destiny's streams at all, you're probably familiar with Dan. He is one of Destiny's friends and is also Jewish. He found out through the Destiny subreddit that Twitch was actively blocking users with IP addresses in Israel from creating accounts. It even says blocked country IP in the code for the website. Like, if you were in Israel, you could not make an account for months. So, like, you have this group of people making a tier list with Jews at the bottom at TwitchCon. You have one of the biggest streamers on the site platforming an anti-Semitic post. And now you have the website itself blocking Israel from using the platform. Even if you disagree with my framing, like, optically, this is a terrible look. Like, the worst look imaginable. Even in context, it's pretty bad. But, like, imagine a normie getting the surface level context of the situation. This is like a literal nightmare. Twitch, of course, had to respond to this where they told the truth. Just kidding, they lied. They said, following the October 7th, 2023 attacks, we temporarily disabled signups with email verification in Israel and Palestine. We did this to prevent uploads of graphic material related to the attack and to protect the safety of users. Signups were not disabled, and we continued to see signups from both regions. Users could choose to sign up with phone verification. We've learned that inadvertently we did not re-enable email verification signups for either region. They said it only blocked email verification, but mobile verification was also blocked. I don't know why they'd lie about this. I also don't understand region blocking Israel and Palestine. Like, it really doesn't make sense either. Do I think they did this because they're anti-Semitic? No, I don't think that. But I gotta say, regardless, it's pretty optically bad with all of the stuff I mentioned prior. Dan has also taken it upon himself to target Twitch's sponsors, which is certainly a divisive decision. Personally, I think there's other ways to fix this issue besides, like, starting the next adpocalypse. But also, like, if YouTube deserved the adpocalypse, then Twitch definitely deserves it. I'm not saying that I want it to happen. In general, I'd say never go after sponsors, but I mean, I will admit this is a severe issue on Twitch that needs to be addressed. I think the general pressure and crowd support would have been a bit better. Like, Dan is connected with Destiny. Destiny has a bunch of orbiters. Like, there's probably a way to put pressure on Twitch from a lot of different people without going after sponsors. But once again, I don't like the one-to-one comparison that it's like, oh, this is the YouTube adpocalypse, so it's bad. Like, I think this situation is a bit more valid. But Twitch eventually responded after a long campaign of being rallied against, and their response was, you know, it was written in English. I'm not even going to bother reading this because it's literally just a bunch of words that mean nothing. The first two paragraphs are just virtue signaling bullshit about equality and respect and all that woke mumbo jumbo. Then there's this little section that says, our community guidelines are foundational, and when we find content that breaks those rules, we take immediate enforcement action. This will always be the case. Okay, so by that logic, you haven't made any mistakes, like platforming Hasan, who platformed a Houthi. Like, that was you just upholding your standards as a community, right? The last two paragraphs are just talking about how, like, oh, we value different perspectives and platforming diverse voices. We value the criticism, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we don't allow hatred here, guys.
You fucking bloodthirsty, violent pig dog.
We don't like it when people are hateful.
This is a cracker take.
The last thing we want is hateful rhetoric.
Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist blood.
Guys, we did it. We ended racism. To be fair, though, Twitch did implement some policy changes. I mean, they don't do anything, but today, we're expanding content classification labels and adding a new content category focused on political and debated issues. Content classification labels were built and designed to give viewers more control over what they see on Twitch. Starting today, streams that include discussion of politics or sensitive social issues should include the new Politics and Sensitive Social Issues content classification label. In our content classification guidelines, we go into deeper detail on when this label should be applied, with examples, exceptions, and more. Streams that include conversations about elections, civic integrity, and war or military conflict, for example, are required to include the new label. Wow, that is epic. So now, before I click on a Hassan Piker's stream, I can get a trigger warning for apologia and propaganda.
What kind of girl are you?
Let's just say I'm a special girl.
What are you, retarded?
But guys, it's not all bad because we got some epic memes coming in. Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, obviously has been public enemy number one aside from Hassan in this situation. And people discovered Dan Clancy's Pornhub account. He also has an videos account, and some of these videos that he favorited are just fucking insane. Young Chinese deep. Lovely, barely legal teen brunette. Look, guys, if there's one thing this country stands for, it's watching 18-year-olds get pounded. But when you are the CEO of one of the biggest websites on the internet, maybe don't use the same username on NSFW websites as your Twitter and Twitch username.
Oh, well, maybe somebody made these accounts in his place to set him up.
Yeah, that is a good theory, until you realize that the email used on his resume is linked to these websites, like an account has been created on them. Look, if you want to crank your hog to barely legal, young looking Chinese girls, then that's fine by me. Maybe I'll join you. No, I'm not gonna do that. This also makes sense because one time he did this live stream showing off the Twitch mobile app, and all of the streamers he followed were like cam girl coomer live streamers. Look, there's not much here. It's not a big deal. I'm not morally offended, and obviously it's not like he's downloading CP or anything. But I can't imagine that he keeps his job after this, right? Like barely legal teens is fucking insane. Anyways, let me know what you think about this entire situation in the comment section down below. And until next time, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe for epic sex. I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Bye.